Oh, shit.
My cabbages!
Hello, man.
Oh, これか。せーの。My cabbages!
Hello, man.
My cabbages!
しっかり足を踏み出して体重を移動しながら腰をひねり肩に力を伝えてほっ
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
What's up, everybody? I don't need these today, actually. I'm going to get rid of those today. I scuffed it with the headphones. It doesn't matter. I just like the intro. It, of course, is Andrew Esquire, American attorney. It's Legal Minds. We teach you to be your own judge. We're here. The day is upon us tomorrow. We are here with the pre-trial recap. The pre-trial recap, getting into everything you need to know and why tomorrow is going to be one of the most dramatic days out there in the Somali criminal saga. I'm going to be so excited tomorrow to be doing live play-by-play. We're going to have more info coming in. We're going to have more sources. It's going to be great. And we're going to be the only channel on the internet, the only place in the world where you can get live updates on what's going down as it goes down, play-by-play, John Madden style, courtroom style. It's going to be fantastic. It is going to be late. So it's 4 p.m. Korea time is when the trial itself starts. So I'm going to start. I'm probably going to start about 3:15, 3:30 Korea time. So I'll be, starting a little bit earlier than that. For those in America, that's really late at night. I understand. But if you can pop some Red Bulls and stay up late, tell your grandmother that, keep the lights on in the basement. You're just going to be up a little longer. It'll be good for those in America. For those in Asia, Australia, Europe, you guys will be fine. You guys will have a great time. It'll be just dandy. Just dandy. Set the alarm for those that are US side. Yeah, not that late in Australia. Australia's fine, Asia's fine, Europe's fine. It's going to be worth it. This is must-see TV. It's going to be great. And we're telling you, I'm not trying to hype this. Tomorrow is probably going to be the most dramatic. Now, we're going to have another court date in September that probably will have some drama, some stuff going on. But I think this one, there's a lot more questions that are unanswered, particularly regarding the witness testimony. And I'm going to explain everything today. We're going to lay it out today and what to expect. I've also got a fast facts on this. It's going to be out of control. Chris Kelly says, RK and the Booty Goons felted. That's right. King Lugia, for once, is gifted 1 Legal Minds membership. Thank you. Also, Big Buddhist for 5 Legal Mindset membership.
Yes.
And then Warranty Void coming in for the big 20, giving everybody who hates me
Emotional damage.
And for Johnny,
emotional cabbage.
a lot of cabbage going to be dealt tomorrow. Tommy Eckert says, Scuffinado's reporting in. Actually, not so bad today. The headphones isn't scuffed. That's not scuffed. That's intentional. I like to hear the openers. Also, I thought I'd pledge for the golden shower goal for once. Let's go. Yes, we've got a goal today. Get hyped up for tomorrow if you want to help me hit that goal. Also, we got pinned in there, the mindset team. So it's not just the SCT. Obviously, we had a lot for the SCT, and I've done a lot to support the SCT. But I want to support also not just the SCT, inclusive of them, but the broader team, including people that help me, like the mods, etc., and doing nice stuff for them, like Danielle, for example, who is the hardest worker in the room. So if you want to support that, head on over to the Ko-Fi and you can donate there. I really appreciate that. John G., for €2. So saw you got some nice ink on a random YouTube clip. Yeah, I do have tattoos. I don't show them typically. In fact, the reason why I got them at the length I got them is because you can't see them under a suit or when I'm doing business. So it's sort of like, when I'm business, I'm business. When I'm off, right? It is what it is. Super appreciated for 40. Tybot, CC says, Asia is great. You can chill and have some soup. That's right. Some kimchi jjigae. Although I don't know how good the kimchi jjigae is in Korean prison. Rigo says, for 5, in the spirit of things, I think RK is going to go with the insanity plea for the new charges. Insanity plea? Really?
No. Wait.
Yokai watch bracelet says it's 7:30 for the British, but war is upon us. Hey, listen, bear a stiff upper lip, my Brits. Bear a stiff upper lip. Get your tea, get your crumpets, and roll out for this one. You don't want to miss it. As long as the UK government does not block internet access to the trial, you're going to have fun. Norbert Froelich says, Guten Tag for 10. Sen Euro. Says, Guten Tag, Uncle Mindset. Looking forward to the Madden-style coverage. I love it. Bring on the here, and boom, boom, boom. A little tip for the swear jar. Gruß und Prost over there, Norbert. Appreciate you. Thank you for the support. I love that I have support everywhere. I had a friend of mine here in Bangkok, and he was out having food the other day, and he had a guy he was talking to, and the guy's like, hey, are you friends with Legal Mindset? And I was like, oh, no, gosh, people are recognizing me. But it's really good to get the support. I appreciate it. John Smith says, Andrew, do anything about the docs in your other video? YouTube isn't doing anything to remove them, and then it's kind of continue. This is not the way. I agree. Yeah, I should have deleted that, or my mod should have deleted that. I'm going to double check. I will delete and ban anybody who tries to dox people anywhere, even Ramsey or Hank or anyone else. It doesn't matter if it's somebody's my opponent. I believe in across the board. I don't support doxing. If you do it in the chat, you'll be banned, right? Don't do it. It's not cool. If you want to try to post that information, there's other places that, you can go off to, but not on my channel. Not on my channel. I do not support that at all whatsoever, because if it's wrong to do to innocent people, it's also wrong to do to guilty people. It's wrong to do, period, right? I just think that behavior is not good, period. Forever Menu Dreamer for 99 says, I will be at work, but hopefully we'll be slow around that time. If not, I'll wait for Fast Facts to rewatch the live. That's fine. You can rewatch that. Now, once again, with tomorrow, understand the live is the best option, because I will do a Fast Facts, but because it's live, I can't record it beforehand. For almost all my Fast Facts, so just tonight, I record them before I do my live. So I've already got the Fast Facts done by the time I go live. That's why lives are special, because we get into conversations, we go deeper than the Fast Facts. And sometimes you guys ask me really great questions that just don't get answered in the Fast Facts. But in the live, it's going to be kind of the opposite. You're going to have to wait a couple hours, probably an hour or two, until I can get that out and get that published, so everyone has a summary of what happened. And I might even end up doing a stream that night just to summarize what happened and summarize the important things, what's not important from the trial that day. So we'll see what happens. We also may have some interviews, whatever. We'll see what we do in the evening. But at the very least, there will be a Fast Fact summarizing it, at the very, very least. Thai Coffee, welcome as a new member. I do enjoy my Thai coffee. JP Ravenfire for 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Once again, an amazing mod and an amazing supporter of the channel. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, my Norwegian is kind of rusty. It says Little Panda Club for 119. God ettermiddag, middagendag from Norway. Go. I'm sorry, my Norwegian is not one of my strong languages. Right? Hicka for 5. Thank you. Mona Pedersen for 20 Swedish kroner says hello from Sweden. Tomorrow will be interesting. I'm super excited for it. Luckily, y'all will have some time to be awake in Europe and see it. It'll be kind of a good morning wake up for y'all. I'm very, very excited. I'm extremely excited. It's a midday stream for me, so it'll be interesting. Love your streams. Greeting from South America. Shout out. Hope you're doing that. I hope you're doing well. Hola, or obrigado, whatever. Depending on whether you're Brazil or Argentina or Colombia, Venezuela. Love South America. Great continent. I've had the fortunate life to be able to travel to most countries down there. Beautiful people, beautiful place. And thank you for enjoying this. And thank you for joining me and smashing that like, whether I'm covering Ramsey, Ethan Klein, whatever else I'm covering on the internet. I appreciate your support. Zorga said, send cabbages to RKI like Haru Ura with grass. Urara with grass. That for 5 years says, technically speaking, can Ramsey change one of his pleas from not guilty to guilty? We'd be covering from there. Yes. So he can do that. He can do that. If he wants to, he can change a plea from not guilty to guilty. You cannot go typically from guilty to not guilty, but he can go from not guilty to guilty. So tomorrow is the dramatic point. This is probably the final point at which Ramsey could totally change around. He could drop on one knee, plead guilty to everything, and say, I'm so sorry. This is probably his last credible chance. Because if he does it, at the next one, it's not going to look credible. But he might be able to do it if he did it tomorrow. It also would go faster. It also would go faster. Right? Much, much, much faster. So just throwing it out there. Throwing that out there. Rico said, so sorry, Legal Mindset. What's up? Pretend. It's been a while since I brought up insanity. Feel like it might be the right time. Here's some gold for the shower. Share it with the trial team tomorrow. Since you brought up insanity, I'll just have to play a little clip here from Elon.
But go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
I hope you got that message, Rico. Neko said, I probably won't be able to watch, but I will be able to watch it live when I wake up. Awesome. Awesome. Scorpion says, yes, it'll be late for me, but I'll be there. We work in the dark to serve the light. We are assassins. I am very glad that you'll be there, really. And all my OGs will be there staying up. I appreciate you. Get some coffee on me. Maybe I'll have a coffee just to support you, an emotional support coffee. I'll be there with you guys. Dark Sky made it. For one, thank you. Razakun says, this is for Samyang noodles. Need that hot energy. Oh, that hot energy. Grandmaster Pie said, I heard this is the place for cabbage farming and the love of pie. We love cabbages and pie here. Both equally. I don't discriminate. Forever Mini Dreamer says, yes, I know, but I work at an urgent care clinic 24/7. So people come around any time of day and night. I work in the lab. So it's 1 a.m. for me. It's perfect. Oh, awesome. Motion to squash. Motion to cabbage. That's a good one. Combining Ethan Klein and Giant Somali. Bad News Badger says, can't let the other brothers have the upper hands. Here's good morning from Denmark for 50 krona. I like the Scandinavian competition, like both like some of the nicest people out there and also the intercompetitiveness. It is noted by Mindset. It has been seen by Mindset. And I feel you. I feel you, Matt, Bad News Badger. But you're always good news Badger for me. Patrick says, tomorrow, does it get hit with child charges? No, that's a separate case. We're not really going to talk about that because it's not yet been indicted, but it is being investigated. So we're not going to talk about that right now. It's kind of, for the purposes of tomorrow, it's irrelevant. We'll talk about that after the trial. So after the trial, we'll get into that. Jeffrey Cole said, what would happen if he actually managed to get out of the country? How Jeffrey, how is he going to get out of the country? Please tell me how he is going to get out of the country. What country is he going to? North Korea? He'll be shot. Is he going to? By the way, we do have a PP, of course. Just making sure my PP is ready. It's got to be ready for you guys. I want it to be nice and firm PP when we bring it out. It's not that long. It's average length. Okay, I think it's 8. 8 is pretty average, right? 8 is average, right? That's not weird, right? 8 is good. 8 is enough to satisfy the chat, right? Right. But anyways, he's not going to get out. He's banned from Japan. Imagine trying to sneak into China. It's not going to happen. MJ for 5,000 won. What is that? Ochan says, will RK be alone since Hanky Poo has dropped him? Do you think he'll be keeping the tax lawyer, switching back to the court appointed? He still has the same lawyer. That's confirmed. Whether Hank is there or not, we will tell you tomorrow. Now, I've said I'm not going to be mentioning Hank too much in a drama sense, but I will tell you whether or not Hank is in the courtroom tomorrow. So if Hank is in the courtroom tomorrow, I will let you know. I will promise you that. But that's about it for the relevance of Hank. Once again, I think Hank going forward isn't going to be that relevant. That's my prediction. Stephanie Lerma for $9.99 super sticker. Thank you. Mishu Lottie said, will be early for me trying to catch up on fast facts. There we go. Luther Harris says, not looking at waking up for 2 a.m. for this one, but I want the scuff. Rigo says, got the message loud and clear. Andrew, cheers from a fellow Florida man. Well, shout out to Florida. And Fact Factor says, so is this a motion to quash the insanity plea?
No. Wait.
Let's do this. Let's get to the PowerPoint. Of course, I've got one for you today about his pretrial for his August 13th trial. So here's the information, guys. The trial is going down tomorrow. That is August 13th, Asia time, 4 p.m. Seoul time. I don't know where all of you are, so you're going to have to individually go and convert your own time. I know it's really hard to go to Google and put 4 p.m. Seoul, 2, and then your time zone, but you're going to have to do it because you guys are all around the world, including some of you here in Bangkok with me here in Thailand. There's some people in Korea. There's some people elsewhere. Now, I will be here quarterbacking this in constant contact with people in the courtroom. So, spoiler alert, I'm not going to be there myself. I'm going to be here broadcasting to you live because I cannot, if I'm broadcasting to you live, right, I can't be in the courtroom. They're kind of mutually exclusive, right? So I will be here giving you the play-by-play from the cock from Bangkok, right? So that is what 3 a.m. Eastern, or somebody says 2 a.m. Eastern. You're now conflicting. Seoul's GMT +9. Figure it out, right? 2 a.m. Central Standard. Once again, you guys can all figure that out. You guys are all smart people. You're watching Mindset. You're smart people. Juicebox says, so is Juicebox Poppy. Sorry, we can't forget the Poppy. So his only option at this point is to stick his fingers in the judge's mouth in insanity. This is glorious. The finger in the mouth thing won't work and will get him laid out by the bailiff. The bailiff is jacked. So good luck with that. Pancake Lulu for 50 Czech krona says, greeting from Czechia. Crown currency countries unite. There we go. I love Czech. It's a great place. Spent a lot of good time in Prague and also in like Ostrava out in the countryside with one of my friends. Very, very nice. Anyways, there are a total of 8 criminal charges against Ramsey. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over that in detail. We're going to go over all the charges today. We have no idea if any more are going to be added. I love the chat here. The chat is like really sounding off here. 8 a.m. UK, 7 p.m. New Zealand, 11 p.m. CAT, 10 a.m. for Eastern Europe. Let's go. What is it? 17 Indonesia time. So that's 5 p.m. for those that, like the PMs. So we got people all around the world here, guys. 11 a.m. Greece. Shout out to Greece. Just had some really good Greek food the other day. Really good. Whenever I hear other countries, I think about food, right? That's probably just me being a fatty. But yeah. So 8 counts. Tomorrow is going to be the indictment for the new count of obstruction. So he's going to have to talk about what he pleads on that. And also witness testimony and cross. So the witness, which we'll talk about the witness, they're going to get to testify. The prosecutor will ask them questions. And then they're going to get cross-examined by Ramsey's lawyer, right? People in the chat, so as you guys get unruly, I love you. I love you guys. CCPT Texas. Howdy, brother. Hope you're well. I'm doing well. It's been crazy for me IRL and online, but we're back. We're in it. We're doing it. Kenneth Kemp says midnight for LA, folks. L Eagle says 2 p.m. for me. Perfect. I'll be chilling after lunch. Break for the reckoning. Awesome. And Melody, Mary Pigeon says it'll be around 8:30, 9 a.m. in Denmark when it's 4 p.m. in Seoul. I think that's a perfect time. Go to your favorite cozy cafe. This is going to be the most dramatic court date. And I'm not saying this to hype this up. I'm saying this because we don't know what's going to happen. It could be explosive. It could be not. And probably there's going to be things we don't expect happening. For example, we don't know what's going to happen with his address. Is he going to update his address and say, I don't live with Hanky Poo anymore? Or is he going to say, no, I'm still living with him, and kind of out that is either a lie and contempt of court or actually true and kind of a false trail? That's something he's going to have to deal with tomorrow. It's going to be a big deal. So here's the charges. Here's what we got. We've got 8. We've got 4 counts of obstruction, 2 counts on the Minor Crimes Act, and 2 deepfakes. So tomorrow, the witness will be Bong Bong. She is for deepfake count number 2. Also, the Somali conviction team, through some research and talking around, has found out that the deepfake count number 1 is for Jungman, the Korean streamer Jungman. He's the guy who Johnny calls the whale or the beluga, the fat guy, right? That's what he calls Jungman. Jungman actually is a pretty controversial figure. He's actually in jail right now for throwing a brick through a courthouse, actually the exact same courthouse window that Johnny is in. So he's a very interesting figure. But there is a deepfake that Johnny showed of Jungman making out with Hank, and they're both naked. It's a sexual deepfake. And even if you're in jail, you could still press charges. You can still have charges pushed against him. So this guy's in jail. And not only that, but we also confirmed that Jungmann is the one who filed the petition for extreme punishment. So this guy filed the petition for extreme punishment, which means that he's advocating for Johnny to be punished to the extreme. So Johnny may be joining him in jail. Very hilarious. Very hilarious. So of the other charges, he's already pled guilty to the 7-Eleven, throwing the noodles, disrupting the bus system, and he's pled guilty to the Minor Crimes Act of harassing people with a dead fish and the twerking and loud music on the metro. He's already said he's guilty of those. So kind of in Korea, when you plead guilty, there's kind of no takesies backsies. So these he's all guilty of, and you can consider him guilty already. Last time he said he was not guilty of disrupting the ride at Lotte World. Now, what is really interesting tomorrow is who filed this fourth obstruction charge? Was it a bus? Was it a subway? We don't know. Was it another store? Who filed this charge, and how is he going to plead? Because if he pleads not guilty, well, then that may delay things. It may not, but it could. Also, does he just change his plea here to guilty and then plead guilty here as well, and then only fight the deepfakes? Who knows? We don't know. Someone says Hank filed the charge. I doubt it. Let's get some questions here and we'll continue. We definitely need the K-pop You're Coping to be released. We'll get that out there. We'll get that out there as a single. Magzapop and what's up says, how taxing will the trial be for his lawyer? Okay. I want to be respectful to his lawyer. We don't know how much experience his lawyer has actively with trials, but certainly I can say this. Johnny's trial is the most complicated criminal trial, particularly of a foreigner, that most observers, and I'm talking to Korean lawyers and people who are in Korea who know the legal system. This is the most complicated trial they've seen. There normally are not 7 charges merged in. There normally are not split pleas with some guilty, some not. Changing lawyers, changing interpreters, delaying of the trial. This is really complicated. So this is taxing on his lawyer. And his lawyer is also being asked by Somali and his Discord, right, is being asked to ask all these questions tomorrow. We don't know what will be asked or not. We don't know what he's going to decide. So it's pretty taxing on him to decide what to ask and what to not. Mass Gallo says, Jungmann be like, see you in jail, little Johnny. Death the Goat says, hail, legal mindset in chat. Hail, hail. Grandmaster Price says, PP, PM, and golden showers. I'm noticing a pattern here. Is there something you want to tell us, Andrew? No. Wait. Thank you guys for hitting the goal, though. I appreciate you all for hitting that, getting us hyped up for tomorrow, making everybody who hates me cope and seethe. It is glorious. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Sir King Nathan says, feels like the last trial was just yesterday. I know. And guess what? The next one's going to be in September. It's going to go by fast. And it's been months since the last trial. Mercer said Johnny is getting 40 years. It keeps going there. It's not. The maximum is 12. We're about to show the chart. The maximum right now is 12. Anybody who sells elsewise is clickbaiting you. DK Demo says 2 a.m. Central Time, late for us Minnesotans. Net Positive says, Brewski on me. Hit the like, peoples. Smash that like. Luther Harris says, Johnny may make deepfakes that streamer, but won't know it's fake once Johnny's convicted, if you know what I mean. Purple Smart Gallus says, hello from Canada. If Hank is not providing money for RKI, does that mean RKI will have to switch back to a court-appointed lawyer? Right now, he still has the same lawyer. I have a theory. There is a rumor, and I normally won't state rumors, but I do believe that his lawyer has been paid off in some way, probably by Hank, because Hank kind of hinted about it. I think he's probably paid his lawyer to kind of finish out the work with Johnny, and that's it. Probably not paying for an appeal or anything else, but probably paid him to just finish out the work. So I think there may have been a lump sum of money that was exchanged there. Hank said that he spent over $20,000. So I do believe that that was given to the lawyer. But the lawyer, the paid lawyer, is still his lawyer. Proxy 4818 says, RK had broken the record for most charges in one case. He's broken the record for most charges merged in for a foreigner. So it's kind of specific. The most charges merged in for a foreigner in Korea who's charged with crimes. Yes, he's probably set that record. I'd have to check, but probably. Right? Patrick says his attorney is Lionel Hutz. RKI should be fine. No. He's not that bad. Baker says for Canadian 10, would betting allowed? I bet if Ramsey kneeled, showed respect to the culture, and pled guilty to all, he'd have minimal jail time, a big fine, and be sent back home with a ban. Could happen. Bad News Badger said easily explain it. Chats are degens. True. Dead the Goat is a new member. Thank you. Juicebox Poppy 182 says if RK doesn't disclose his address once someone Phoenix writes him and disclose his move, or how would they know he's lying? Well, they could check. The police could go and check. And if he's not there, that could be a problem, particularly if somebody reports this to prosecutors and someone sends the clip that he's not there anymore to prosecutors, right? So they can check. All right, let's go on. So we see the charges. He's got 8. This is a whole lot. Also, Sailor Moon says he's been kicked out on the street yet. Not yet. As far as we know, not yet. But what we do know is here is the estimate for his sentence. Anywhere as low as 9 months under the sentencing guidelines to up to 12 years. Based on him being found guilty, the assumptions here are that he is found guilty on all of the counts, right? But under that assumption, from 9 months to 12 years. We don't think it's 9 months based on the fact that this is probably not going to be mitigated. However, note that these are sentencing guidelines. These are not requirements. The judge can sentence lower and could technically go up to the limit at 12 years, right? But he's got anywhere between 0. He could give 0. It's possible, right? It would be, I think, a miscarriage of justice. I think people would be very angry. I would be angry if he got 0, right? But he can go anywhere he wants. But these are the guidelines, and typically the judge is by the book. So if he goes by the book and gives just the default, not mitigated, not aggravated. Once again, mitigated means you've done everything right. You've said you're sorry. You've apologized. That's mitigated. He hasn't apologized. And he hasn't given money to people. He hasn't been sincere. So I don't think it's going to be mitigated. So we cross this out, but it's possible. On the top end is 12 years. That's aggravated, doing everything wrong. He has multiple crimes. He hasn't said he's sorry. He hasn't paid anybody back. There's a lot of proof for aggravated. But even so, 4 years and 9 months. 4 years and 9 months. That is significant time, guys. That is significant time behind bars. I don't think that's something to laugh at. The infamous says Korean prosecutors are going to go wild against RK. Well, once again, as been pointed out, he's kind of the example. He's kind of the test case of, hey, are we going to let people come to Korea and just run wild as streamers? Are we going to do this or not? Because if we don't punish this guy harshly, then there could be problems. And shout out to everybody on locals, by the way, Repton, Veggie Han, Danielle, appreciate all you over there on locals. And also the good memes. Okay, here's the new information. Here's what we got that's brand new. We have a new interpreter for Ramsey. This just came out last week. So last time we had some problems with the translation because the interpreter was very good at translating English to Korean. They were very excellent. However, they were not doing a good job of translating Korean to English. So they could do English to Korean, but not Korean to English. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. So we had some misunderstandings about what was said in the courtroom. That should not be a problem. Also, this time, we have a system. We have a system where we're going to have our own person who speaks Korean in the courtroom, translating, feeding the information in, and they're going to focus on Korean, on what's said in Korean. Okay? And what the judge is saying in Korean. And then we're going to have other people looking at our RKI, looking at the courtroom, looking at the prosecutor, looking at what's going on. So tomorrow we're going to have people with multiple angles feeding information to me as I do the live play-by-play. So, and once again, there won't be any video because there cannot be any video in the courtroom, but we will have live updates from the courtroom as it's happening. And this is going to be the only place you're going to see it, only on my channel. It's not going to be anywhere else. Digital Elite says, what are the odds Ramsey shows up late again? I doubt it. He didn't show up late last time. Not really. It was only that first time when I was there where he showed up ridiculously late. I think he's learned because the judge scolded him. The judge says, if you show up late again, there will be consequences. Peroro said RKI has got hell to pay. And we're coming to the end of the saga. We have the petition of severe punishment, the deepfake, which are confirmed as Jungman, the Korean streamer. And we have Bong Bong, who has hired a lawyer to represent herself as a victim. She is highly invested. I think the strategy on the Somali side was to make her no-show, meaning make her not show up. And a lot of people were banking on this. We're saying, oh, there's going to be a no-show. They're trying to intimidate her. They're trying to attack her. But I think Bong Bong held strong. And because she's got a lawyer, and by the way, she's been traveling the world, and all of a sudden she's back in Korea, obviously to testify, that shows her commitment to showing up tomorrow and doing this. So that harassment campaign of Bong Bong really backfired. It actually got Bong Bong more dedicated to actually come in here. And someone mentioned in the chat, she could have a civil case. It's very possible she could bring a civil case after this. Very possible. Crash Jester says, breaking. Ramsey Khalid Ismail to the gulag. Proxy says for 10, make an example of RKI is a big incentive to aim for long sentence, since any reduction will be seen as an exploitable weakness by other potential nuisance streamers. I agree. I think when people cross a line and they're unrepentant about it, if they say they're sorry and they apologize and they really didn't know, I am, as you guys have seen from my other videos, I can forgive people that are genuinely sorry. I am not a person who is so callous that I cannot forgive somebody who says they're sorry and who makes it right with the culture and with the people. I can forgive somebody. I can't. But to date, we have not seen a complete and genuine apology. Not at all. Not at all. Professor Jurgen Trench for 20 says, hey, Legal Master, good to see you. I left you a message on IG a couple months ago, looking for your services on getting a Thailand 5-year DTV. Is there any chance you can email another great content? Yeah, sure. And contact me, Andrew Esquire live at gmail.com. It's in the you can Danielle will post that Andrew Esquire live at gmail.com. Just tell me, hey, it's the professor. I'm looking to do a DTV, and I will try to help you out if you're trying to relocate to Thailand. Hope you're doing well. Okay. So I think Bong Bong is going to show up. So here's some questions I have. These are very good questions. Very good questions. How Bong Bong does as a witness. Now, I'm rooting for Bong Bong. Don't get me wrong, but I am a lawyer and I am objective, and you guys know I try to be fair and reasonable. I don't know whether or not Bong Bong is going to be a strong witness. I don't know. She could be a great witness. She could be a weak witness. We don't know. Sometimes people do really, really well on the stand. Sometimes they're intimidated. And let me tell you guys, there's no shame in being intimidated. It's scary. Even being in the back of the courtroom, you feel the pressure of the court. It's real. It's intimidating. If you guys have ever been in court, and by the way, let's put up a poll here. I said real quick, what did you guys think he pleads guilty or not guilty? It is 50-50 split as to whether or not he pleads guilty or not guilty, just about. But I want to ask you guys in the chat, like, have you ever been in a courtroom? In any capacity, whether you're a jury, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a witness, or whether you just watched a trial, have you ever been in a courtroom during an actual trial? Because if you've been in a courtroom, those of you that have, you know that feeling. It feels really serious. It feels really like somber, professional, right? It's not a play around thing. And honestly, especially for streamers that are used to having fun and being light and casual, that's a lot of pressure. Now, I like pressure. I do really well under pressure. I get into like hyper focus mode and I just like do the best I can do. I like pressure. Pressure is good for me. I love pressure. But other people are not that way. That's why, for example, I love public speaking because I feel like it's pressure and I want to perform at my best. On my lives with you guys, I want to do the best job I can do. I genuinely do. And that's why, I scuff and I laugh at it, but I always try to improve. I always try to do better, even when I scuff. So what may happen is maybe when she's cross-examined, she stutters or gives a bad answer. That can happen. We don't know. And that's the drama, guys. That's why it's going to be dramatic. Because we have no idea about how that plays out. None. The other thing is, how does Ramsey's lawyer question Bong Bong? The Somali gang had this huge dossier, this Bong Bong dossier. A dossier, in case you guys don't know, is like a file. It's like a personnel file on a person with all this dirt on Bong Bong, all these things to ask her and grill her on, etc. And we have no idea. That was turned over to Johnny's lawyer. Johnny's lawyer did indeed get that. We have no idea, zero idea, whether or not the lawyer will ask one question from that dossier, zero questions, or everything. Because there's a lot of irrelevant, disrespectful, hurtful, and frankly, stuff that's bullying in that document that was handed over to the lawyer. So we will see. No, we will see what the lawyer asks. Now, hopefully the lawyer is competent and screens out some of that stuff, but we don't know. And there's a lot of questions that might come up, like, for example, about Bong Bong and how she was on stream, or, her personality, or her laughing, or whether or not she was romantically tied with Johnny. There's a lot of questions that can come up. We'll see which ones are asked. It could be a 5-minute cross-examination. Once again, cross-examination is when Ramsey's lawyer gets to question her. It could be 5 minutes or it could be 2 hours. I have no idea. Really don't. Further, who filed the new obstruction charge? Who filed it? We don't know. Was it, who was it? Was it a bus? Was it a subway? Who filed that charge? And also, how does Ramsey plead? Guilty or not guilty? It's 50-50. You guys are split in the chat, literally 50-50. And so am I. And that's drama, guys. That's drama. It's courtroom drama. Which way does he go tomorrow? Does he fight back or does he bend the knee? We don't know. He's already bent the knee on 2 charges. But then again, there's one he didn't for Lotte World. Why did he do that? It's also an obstruction charge. It's silly. Obstruction is easy to prove. What's his thought? Right? What's his thought? Also, here's a last one. Who shows up in the courtroom? And how do they show up? Is Johnny wearing a ridiculous outfit? Does Johnny wear the Kanye outfit tomorrow? Does he come in there in a t-shirt? Does he come in there in shorts? Does he wear the MAGA hat again? What does Johnny do in the courtroom? How is he dressed and who's there? Now, once again, I mentioned before, I'll say it again because there's 4,000 people. I'm kind of closing the chapter on Hank because he's irrelevant, but I will report whether or not Hank is in the courtroom. That's all. I'm not trying to trash talk Hank or whatever. I'm just going to say he's in the courtroom or he's not. And how he's looking. Is he angry? Is he mad? Whatever. That's it. Present sense observation. Objective, truthful observations. Right? PV & Co says in Australia, it's very common practice for school-age kids to attend magistrate court for educational purposes. Is it common in the USA? It's different. It's a different system in the USA. Good one, though. Professor of Junk and Treasure says, email sent. Thank you. You're welcome. Happy to help you. Happy to help anybody who comes to me. A lot of people have come to me for help moving abroad, and I will help them as best I can. Wildfire says, birthday stream for B. How long till RK starts his cabbage farm work? Probably a couple months at minimum. We'll see. Setsuna says, and by the way, happy birthday. Setsuna says, had to go to court as a kid when I was shot with a BB pew pew. Ooh, that can actually be bad. You can poke out an eye that way. Got to be careful. Got to be very, very careful. I've dealt with people that have gotten severely injured from the pew pew. Norbert Froelich says, I'm really curious for 10. Oido says, I'm really curious how hard the Korean justice system will hit RKI, if at all. Recently, a former K-pop idol pled guilty to gang rape. What the heck? The prosecution demanded 7. He was sentenced to 3.5. We don't know. Once again, we don't know. The judge could go hard or could go soft. Marsha P says, I was on a jury for a capital murder trial. Woof. Artemis says, so you're an exhibitionist. Fetish found. Whoa. That's reading way too far. Hold on.
No. Wait.
Maxim Pest Solutions for 20 Canadian says, Johnny wouldn't bend the knee unless it's for Hank. Thanks, Andrew. Cheers. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Ozian says, with the Hank interview out there, and things have really changed for Johnny. Without any real backup, it's known, and it's being known that Hank is a loose cannon. What happens? Who knows what happened now? Maybe he turns a new leaf. Maybe if Hank pulls his support, Johnny will plead guilty because he knows he can't last long. Angel LR for 8 months is clearing my calendar for this court update. Wish I could be there in person. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Korea. James C. Beachy says, so if RKI is found guilty tomorrow, we'll be taken to prison straight away. No. Tomorrow is not sentencing. I'm going to talk to you about the timeline. All that's going to happen tomorrow is two things. He's going to have to plead guilty on the new obstruction charge. Plead guilty or not guilty. That's one. And two, the witness, Bong Bong, will testify tomorrow. That's it. That's all. And also, maybe he updates his address. That's three. That's all that's happening. All the stuff with the not guilty on the obstruction charge and closing arguments, that's going to be in September. Yeah, tomorrow is not the final day. Yes, guys, yes. Remember, Korea stretches out their trials over months and months and months. They do not do them all at once. So the next trial will be in September, a month from now. And the next trial will not be the last one. There will be at least one more after that. So we'll talk about the timing for sentencing. CJ Maldo said, hey, Legal Mindset, thanks for covering this and keeping it as accurate as possible. My pleasure. It's 100% facts as I can bring them to you. Can't help but feel that RK and the remorse is like boy who cried wolf. He could be telling the truth, but no one will believe him. I agree. Amanda Main says, Lowell probably not in Hank's suit if they broke up. We'll see. Maybe he gave him a loaner. Dave for 5 says, yeah, I've been in a courtroom. I spent 40 days in British Columbia jail after drunkenly kicking a cop. Not fun. Apologize and pray 5 years ago. Hey, man, listen. Everybody screws up. I've screwed up. I've done things I shouldn't have done. And I continue to make mistakes. The important thing is you learn, right? Learn. If you mess up, that's human. Humans mess up. Everybody messes up, right? Nobody's perfect. Learn from your mistake. Move on. It seems like you did. And I wish you the best for your future, Dave. And thank you for the 5, brother. Rose Gold Cinnamon says, who's been in the courtroom? Their percent were surprising. I want to know the other percent. How many Americans have been inside of a courtroom? Well, I'm an American and I'm inside a courtroom, but I'm also a lawyer. 56% have been in a courtroom. So yeah, of those, what percent are Americans? I think Americans go a little bit more often, probably. Asian Dragon 456 says, speaking of cross-examination, how relevant Phoenix Wright cross-examination to reality? Partially accurate, partially. But you can't just yell objection at certain points in the procedure. There are points you cannot object or you shouldn't object, etc. But yes, it's semi-accurate. Jenny Nickel for 07 says, this is my soundtrack for grading briefs for my law school's moot court. Oh, I love moot court. I did moot court. I actually judged moot court a lot. I actually wish there was moot court here in Thailand. I would totally judge that. This is close to a donation as my alma mater relevant. That's awesome. Lazy 801, I've been thinking his tough guy smartass routine dissolves. He'll dress as best he can, bend and plead guilty to the hardest charge and beg true colors. That would be drama. And tomorrow, it is possible. It is possible that happens. Mazrova Palma gifted 20 Legal Mindset membership.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that, Mazrova Palma. Love saying that name, Mazrova Palma. And appreciate the gifts from all of you and the memberships. If you received a membership, please say thank you, because now you have access to the emojis, the members-only streams. It is absolutely wonderful. Okay. Let's go to our predictions for Somali here. Here's my predictions. The next hearing, this hearing coming up, so not tomorrow, but the hearing in September, the September hearing is going to be the hearing with not guilty pleas and closing arguments unless we have new charges. So unless we have new charges in September, probably towards the end of September, maybe like the 15th, 16th, 17th, whatever, right? We're going to have the next hearing. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, in October, we're going to have sentencing, and that is when he would go to jail, in October. That is my prediction, unless anything new is added. The next trial date will be in September. Guys, tomorrow is not his final date. Korea staggers them out month by month. That's the Korean system. The process is the punishment. So the next date is going to be in September for sure, 100%. And then they try to rush 2 weeks sentencing, and boom, he could be sentenced in October. Could be sentenced in October. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think we could have the trial over in October. Now, that does assume a lot. That assumes that he doesn't get any more charges. Right now, if anything is added to this list, then it's going to take longer. And we still have a whole month until we hear closing arguments, which will be in September. If anything is added before September, it'll delay. It'll delay. Do they have Alfred pleas in South Korea? No. Good question. Very good question, which is, you're not admitting guilt, but you're kind of giving yourself up to sentencing. No. Ken Sticky says, U.S. time of live trial coverage, please. The U.S. is big. Look at the chat. It is 4 p.m. Korea. Type into Google 4 p.m. Seoul to whatever you are. So 4 p.m. Seoul to EST. 4 p.m. Seoul to CST. 4 p.m. Seoul to MST. 4 p.m. Seoul to Pacific time. Or Alaska or Hawaii. Don't forget about you guys too. Senpai notices you, Alaska and Hawaii. I love you. Right? So just put 4 p.m. Korea. 4 p.m. Korea. Right? And Big Buddha says, next poll. Will he put some more BS and get a new charge? If he does, it would. If he pulls some stuff in the court, if he pulls a stunt in the court, they will add that. Somebody asked, could Hank be a witness on locals? Maybe in September. Maybe in September. But I think likely not. Good question for Vegihan on locals. Good question. Cameron says, you ever watched Ace Attorney? What are your thoughts? But I like it. I think it's a fun game. I think it's fun. I like it. It's one of the few lawyer things that I like, that I enjoy. Normally, I don't like lawyer stuff because it's so super unrealistic. Like Suits. Suits is like horribly unrealistic. It's the good stuff. Became a new member. And Bronwyn with 20 Legal Mindset memberships.
Emotional damage.
All of my haters getting big emotional damage now. Jeff D says, did Japan have any skill or monetary requirements to move there? Having visited, I would love to live there at some point in the future. Maybe just retire there. Depends on what you want to do. If you want to study, you just got to have money to study and, provide for yourself. If you want to work, well, then you get a job and your job's taking care of you. But if you want to do something like digital nomad or start a business, then yeah, you're going to have some money. If you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me, you can just email me, andrewesquirelive@gmail.com, and I will do a one-on-one consultation with you. I'm still doing those, although I am doing some rebrand on my content. So there's going to be some exciting stuff coming in the future. Chillax in Chica. Says, I've been in a courtroom as a juror, attorney, and now as a judge. The level of stress can be extreme. I can't imagine the stress of being the accused. It's crazy. And you're sitting in a hot seat saying, hey, I could be going away for 4 years, 3 years, 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. That's a lot of pressure. And Bong Bong, by the way, she could be cross-examined. And, when she's cross-examined, you can't lie. So there could be some uncomfortable questions for her. And I feel for her. That's really uncomfortable. Yuri says, how's the CHS pending? We're going to talk about that after the trial. I don't want to distract anything. They're still being investigated. Mazrova Palm for 100 Czech krona. I was in the courtroom only while I was at high school as a school incursion. That still counts, Mazrova. That still counts. The Jalbot for 5 says, Paul, does a recreation of the last American witch trial at Colonial Williamsburg count? Yes. Couldn't vote as a juror, though, as I was an unlanded papist. They did keep the papists out. Yokai Watch Bracelet says Halloween is going to be lit this year for RKI. That's right. Send love for 7 Swiss francs. Congrats on the live exclusive Legal World News. Yeah, tomorrow, live exclusive only on Legal Mindset, the only one given to play-by-play. May his sentence be long enough for the chance at honest character development as well as deterrence. Guys, I thank you for that, Send Love. I genuinely do not wish, a lot of people think that I'm wishing harm on people or I'm some evil person. I am here, I want people to change. And at some point, if just telling them to change isn't working, there needs to be a consequence. And sometimes people need to go behind bars for a little bit to change their life. And hopefully that's something that works. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it makes him worse. But clearly letting him do whatever he wants to do with no consequences isn't working. He's only getting worse. And if he gets off with it and gets away with it, he will only be worse. It will escalate to 1 million. Matt Davis said only here for the PP. That's right. Ozian says, can we take bets if RK is late to court poll? Sure. I will put that one up. I will put that one up for you guys. Will RKI be late to court? Just simple yes, no. Quick poll. Bad News Badger says gets in jail for 4 to 5 years in October. In November, new trial for the child thing. Fast slam dunk case. Max something. Exactly. So if he is sentenced and then the new case comes up, that's added on. So that would be a whole nother thing. Dayhawk for 20 Legal Mindset memberships.
Emotional cabbage.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Make sure to smash that like button if you like the stream. Also, if you want to donate, Ko-Fi/Andrew Esquire really helps out supporting the Mindset team, not just the SCT. Well, I've helped out the SCT a lot, but everybody over there, you can jump on over to Ko-Fi and donate. We're at 6% of the goal, so we can pump that goal a little bit over there on Ko-Fi. Dave said, Andrew, for 5. Sorry if it's been answered, but what about the child abuse? That is coming in the future. It may be a separate case. We don't know whether it's merged in or separate. So we'll talk about that after tomorrow's trial date. We will. Same thing here. Talk about it after trial date. Norbert Froelich says, just realized if he was sentenced in October, Halloween 2024 was when Dalgun tried to knock some sense into him. And exactly, this is the point. So if Dalgun, a literal Korean version of a Navy SEAL, he's the underwater demolition team, Yu Dalgun, if him punching him in the face wasn't enough to make him repent and change his ways, what is? And I think a couple years behind bars might be the thing. Porsche PH became a new member. Welcome. And Professor Keith says, where's RK's biological family? They have not been there. From what we know, they pretty much disowned him. Now, I don't like getting anybody's family involved, so I don't want to talk about that really, but they have not been there at the trial. I can say that. They were not at the trial. So as far as that goes, they were not there. Once again, here's the objective trial info. And for everybody, just so you guys know, tomorrow, 4 p.m., Western District Courthouse, Seoul. So if you're in Seoul, you can attend. It's still public. It's still open to everybody. 8 criminal counts against Ramsey. Tomorrow is the indictment and the witness testimony. It is not the last date, but it is very, very likely the most dramatic date. Because if things go the way that I think they may go, and if under cross-examination, Ramsey's lawyer gets up there and grills Bong Bong, that could be disastrous. That could be whatever. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the answers that are going to happen. That's what really is mind-blowing. Because Bong Bong doesn't have time to prep and doesn't really know what to prep for. There's only so much you can prepare for. Aggressive Oblak says, I know the child charges are separate. Do you believe he'll be tending those trials while in prison? And would that be aggravated? I think it would be aggravated for sure. But yes, that would be probably separate. We'll see. But we'll see. Once again, that's speculation. Maximum Pest Solutions say, more members for Andrew. Thank you for your principles. My pleasure. And I'm going to be covering trials like this across the world like this because this is what I love to do. I love to go deep and get the details and be accurate and objective and educational at the same time. Fitty Tucker, though, dropping 50 Legal Mindset memberships.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, that's what he's saying right now, seeing that dono. Thank you, Fitty Tucker. Thanks for the support. And please say thank you for that big dono in the chat. Thank you, guys. Leo Danica for 50 Danish krona says, wasn't the jury in a case involving a map? Still have nightmares about that case. Glad he's buying bars. Ooh, that's sorry about that. That's a whole can of worms. And once again, when people commit those sorts of crimes, they deserve the maximum punishment. The maximum punishment. Maximum punishment. I am glad to hear that that person is behind bars. Okay, guys, this is what we have for today. We've got a fast facts version, and tomorrow I'll be starting early. So make sure you show up. It'll be doing a little bit of a recap. I'll put a little bit of this information up again for those that may have mentioned it. Sometime around my time, 30 minutes before the trial or so. So about 3:30 Korea, maybe 3:15. We'll see how I feel about it. If there's stuff to talk to you about, but we'll get it back tomorrow. Smash a like button, stay based, and I will catch you on the next one.
You are coping the ceiling. You just can't believe what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping the ceiling. The truth it is all day, and now you are more